just one slide about the concept of the VLab, which is a cloud platform conceived in order to manage different kinds of resources. On one side, you have information, so EO, data, and products. On the other side, you have models and in general knowledge, so models, ontologies, and so on. And the VLab can be accessed by portals and applications via APIs in order to develop some useful and easy to use applications for informed decision making. So the focus of today is about the porting of models onto the VLab platform. The technologies that are involved in this porting are mainly two, in addition to VLab, of course, which is one is Git. That is I think you all know very well this. It is a distributed VCS, so it is a way to share source code with other developers or other systems. And the other one is Docker. Docker is a tool which can be used in order to share applications across different machines. It's like a bit more like a virtualization environment, although this definition is not technically appropriate. In order to run and replicate what we are going to see today, you will have to have both Git and Docker installed on your local machine, on your local PC. As far as Git, you can interact with a Git server using either the command line or a client application, which must be installed separately. And Docker also, as I was saying, must be installed on your local machine, and you can interact with it using the command line. So what will be in Git? Of course, the source code of the model. This can be Java, Python, R, MATLAB, whatever. The scripts which are needed to launch the model execution, SH files, exe files, and so on. And some machine-readable information about how to ingest the data into the model and how to launch the model. Later, we will see in detail how to provide this information. For who is already aware of the Git and its branching models and so on, it is important to note that at the moment VLab utilizes the last available commit on the master branch. So if you already have Git repositories with different branches and so on, when you share the repository in VLab, the VLab will use the last commit in the master branch. The content in Docker. Well, Docker, we have Docker images, which are essentially a definition of the environment to run an application. In our use case, it is your model. Okay, so a Docker image is a template which the Docker software utilizes to build and run a so-called Docker container, which is an instance of the image. For example, if your model is coded in Python, you need to define a Docker image with Python installation and the Python libraries which your model utilizes. As Yanis already said, there exist a lot of Docker images which are already available and which can be utilized. In the most of the cases, it is convenient to start from an existing Docker image, and in case you need some additional specific libraries for your model, just install the new libraries. So not start from the scratch. Some more detail about Docker. The VLab utilizes the Docker image in order to instantiate a Docker container, which is where the actual model execution takes place. So you have a Docker image, and every time a model must be executed, a new Docker container, so a new instance of that image is created and executed. In order to allow VLab to utilize the contents from Git and Docker, you need to share this on the web. So the two most widely used hubs for this kind of content are GitHub and Docker Hub. So if you don't already have, you might need to have an account on these websites. In general, you can use also other servers, other services, either operated by you or by your organization or not. In that case, you need to contact the administrators of the VLab. I will share the contacts later, of course, me, Paolo, Yanis, whoever, in order to provide some access credentials. So, as Yanis was saying, we have a dedicated documentation page here that guides you through the creation of a Docker image and the sharing of this Docker image on VLab and its execution. So it is an end-to-end example that you can use in order to understand how this porting works.